My nephew destroyed my $2,000 PC setup, and my sister blamed me for it. Now her husband is siding with me, and she's sinking deeper into lies and isolation. After my sister's kid trashed my $2,000 computer setup, she somehow blamed me for it. Now her husband's actually siding with me, and she's off on her own, spinning up lie after lie while isolating herself from everyone. Hi there, Reddit. I'm a 25-year-old woman, and honestly, I'm at my breaking point with all this. I could really use some outside perspective because, for some reason, my whole family's treating me like I'm the villain just for standing up for myself. I'm a student studying software development, and when I'm not buried in code, I spend my downtime gaming on my personal computer. I live alone in a small one-bedroom apartment that I've worked hard to turn into a cozy, efficient space over the years. It took me ages to save up, but I finally built my dream PC setup: 3 monitors, a custom mechanical keyboard, an ergonomic chair, the whole deal. All in all, that setup cost me just over $2,000, and I treat it like it's my baby. Last weekend, my older sister, she's 30, asked if she could crash at my place for a night because her apartment was being fumigated, and her husband was out of town. She's got a 3-year-old son, Max, who, well, let's just say he's got more energy than he knows what to do with. I love the kid, but he's like a tiny tornado. I was hesitant at first, but she swore up and down that she'd keep a close eye on him, and it would only be for one night. They showed up Saturday afternoon, and right away, it was clear she wasn't kidding about Max being a handful. Within the first 10 minutes, he'd already pulled a few books off my shelves, tossed my houseplants to the floor, and spilled juice all over my rug. I did my best to stay calm. He's a toddler, I get it, but I gently asked my sister to make sure he stayed out of my office where my PC setup is. She rolled her eyes and said something like, "He's just exploring, it's natural for kids to be curious." But at least she did go ahead and shut the office door. Then came Sunday morning. I woke up to the sound of my own screaming. Apparently, Max had woken up before his mom, figured out how to get into the office, and treated my computer setup like a jungle gym. He pulled one of the monitors down and cracked the screen. He shoved crackers into the vents of my PC tower. I wish I was joking, and yanked the keycaps off my keyboard. He even used a permanent marker to scribble all over my chair. But the worst part? He dumped apple juice straight into my PC. When I say I went silent, I mean I didn't say a word. I was just frozen. My sister came into the room, saw the wreckage, and all she said was, "Oh no," in this deadpan voice like someone just knocked over a cup of coffee. I started freaking out, and she actually had the audacity to say, "Well, if it was that important, you should have baby-proofed the room." That's when I snapped. I told her, number 1, she knew he wasn't allowed in there. Number 2, this is my place, not a daycare. And number 3, no one living alone as an adult is expected to baby-proof a $2,000 gaming setup. She told me to calm down and reminded me, "He's just a kid, things can be replaced." I said, "Great. Then go ahead and replace it." She claimed she didn't have the money right now, but maybe she could give me a few $100 in a few months. I told her that wasn't going to cut it, and that she needed to take full responsibility. She stormed out, and now my phone's been blowing up with messages from the whole family. My mom's calling me materialistic and saying I should understand that my nephew didn't mean to break anything. My dad chimed in, saying if the PC meant that much to me, I should have just locked the office door. Even my brother jumped in with, "Why do you need 3 monitors anyway? That's over the top." I filed an insurance claim, but there's no guarantee it'll be covered since it could be considered damage from a guest. I told my sister flat out, if she doesn't pay for the damage, I'll take her to small claims court. Now she's messaging me, well, she was before she blocked me, demanding that I apologize for blaming her son just for being curious. I told her I'd be willing to let it go if she paid for the repairs or at least met me halfway. Instead of responding like an adult, she blocked me. So now I'm wondering, am I out of line for thinking about legal action against my own sister? Wow, just wow. I passed out for a nap, and when I woke up 4 hours later, I was floored by how many responses there were. Thank you all, it's going to take me a while to get through everything. My sister still hasn't unblocked me, but her husband actually reached out to ask what happened. Sorry I don't have more of an update yet, but I'll post again once I know more. I really appreciate everyone's thoughts. Reading your comments has helped clear my head a lot. Here's the updated post with all the abbreviations removed, grammar cleaned up, and the tone adjusted just like folks suggested. Update number 2, hey again, everyone. Like I mentioned before, my sister's husband got in touch, and we're trying to work something out, if possible. To my surprise, he's been really understanding, kind of like a lot of you have been here. Also, just to clear things up, my office is actually just a converted closet. My apartment is pretty small, around 355 square feet, or 33 square meters if my math's right. The landlord turned an old and used closet into a little office space. It's not ideal, but the building was put up in the 1940s, so I guess they had to get creative with the layout. So during the visit, my sister and her son slept in the living room, I slept in the kitchen, and the office was its own little space. Thanks again to everyone for the kind words and even the awards. I honestly didn't expect any of this. Some replies from the comments. To one of the top comments, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you said. You really nailed what I've been feeling but couldn't quite put into words. It's honestly a relief to hear I'm not the crazy one here. Now I just need to figure out what my next move should be. I don't want to completely cut ties with my family, but I'm also so tired of constantly having to beg them to listen to me or take me seriously. Thank you again. As for going no contact, I'm not ready to completely cut everyone off just yet, but your advice really hit home. It's definitely something I've been thinking about, especially if this keeps escalating and no one in my family starts showing even a sliver of respect or basic consideration. All I've ever asked for here is accountability, not drama. But if they keep pushing me, I won't hesitate to start pulling away. Honestly, if my own family can't see the time and effort I've poured into my hobbies, maybe I don't need them in my life at all. Thanks to everyone who's offered insight, it really helps. Replying to a downvoted commenter's questions. So someone asked, does the office door have a lock? If so, why didn't you use it? And how does a 3-year-old manage to get his hands on crackers and apple juice in a place he doesn't even know? Plus, why didn't you take more precautions if you knew they were coming? Alright, here goes. 1. The office is just an old clothes closet that's been converted into a workspace. Like I mentioned before, this apartment was built in the 1940s, and it has a strange layout. The door doesn't have a lock, just this old, heavy wooden door. I've been wondering if my sister might have opened it for him. I don't get why she would, but the thought's been eating at me. 2. The crackers and the juice? They weren't mine. She brought those with her. I didn't even realize the kid had access to that stuff during the night until it was too late, and the damage was already done. 3. As for why I didn't prepare more, I didn't have much warning. She messaged me around 10 a.m. on Saturday, and they were already at my place by 2 p.m. My apartment was a mess, so I spent most of that time just trying to get it cleaned up before they arrived. Looking back, sure, I probably should have taken more precautions with my setup. But honestly, it didn't even cross my mind that something like this could happen. I thought the office space was secure and that her son wouldn't be able to get in. I'd already moved anything he could mess with in the living room out of reach and into spots where it would be easier to keep an eye on him. Update number 3. Hey again, just wanted to post a quick update since it's been almost a week and a few folks have been asking how things turned out. Things have improved, sort of. It's still strange and definitely not resolved, but here's where we're at. Last Saturday, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, came by to see the damage in person. To my surprise, he actually brought Max along with him, and at first I was fuming. But he had a reason. He asked Max to try and open the door to the office. The kid couldn't even move it. The door was way too heavy for him to handle on his own. I think you can guess where this is going. My brother-in-law offered to take my PC to the same shop that originally built it, just to see what parts, if any, could be salvaged. I agreed, but asked if we could put something in writing before he took it, just for my own peace of mind. We put together a simple agreement saying he'd be responsible for it while it was in his care. Yeah, I know it probably doesn't mean much legally, but it helped me feel like I wasn't just handing it over and hoping for the best. On Monday, he dropped it off at the repair shop and gave them my phone number so they could call me directly with any updates. He also told me he sat my sister down and confronted her about the whole situation. I sent him a link to the original Reddit post, and he actually read through the comments, and then showed them to her. She still hasn't unblocked me. From what I've heard, she wasn't too thrilled that her own husband was taking my side. I also shared the post and some of the comments with my parents and my brother. Up until that point, none of them really believed me, so I figured it was time they heard everything. My parents still don't completely get it, but at least they've stopped arguing with me about it. My brother has shown a bit more understanding, though honestly, he seemed more impressed by how many people read the post than anything else. I don't think any of them truly care, and if any of them happen to read this, well, I stand by what I said. Do better. So today's Wednesday, and I just got back from checking in with the repair shop. Turns out, most of the system is going to be okay. It needs a deep internal cleaning, a few fans replaced, and some rewiring done, but by some miracle, the core components survived. My brother-in-law didn't even flinch. He immediately said he'd pay for all the repairs. And when I brought up how my sister had claimed she couldn't even afford $200, he told me flat out that she was lying. He also said he doesn't believe Max did all of the damage on his own. In fact, he suspects the office door might have been left open on purpose. Or worse, he thinks my sister may have actually contributed to the damage herself. Some of the stuff, like how high the tower is and where the crackers ended up, just doesn't add up to something a 3-year-old could manage on his own. To top it off, he told me my sister's been spreading rumors that I have a gambling addiction. Now okay, technically I did get way too into Genshin Impact about 4 years ago. But saying I'm addicted to gambling? Come on. That's a reach. According to her, this whole incident is supposed to be my wake-up call. That's news to me. She used to be supportive, or at least indifferent, when it came to my hobbies. I have no idea what caused this sudden change in attitude. So, here's where things are at right now. My PC is being cleaned and repaired. My brother-in-law is covering the bill. My sister still has me blocked and refuses to speak to me. And I'm still debating whether or not to take this further. If it turns out she had anything to do with the damage on purpose, I might still take her to small claims court. Thanks again to everyone who commented on my original post. Seriously, it meant the world to feel seen when my whole family was trying to convince me I was just being dramatic. Lately, I've been going back and forth in my head, wondering if my sister really did do something on purpose to my setup. I don't want to believe that. It sounds extreme. But the more I think about it, the less far-fetched it seems. I keep replaying that moment in my mind, when I asked her to keep Max out of the office. The eye roll. The dismissive tone. He's just curious. Like she didn't take me seriously at all. And now I'm hearing from her husband that she's going around telling people I'm addicted to games and gambling and need to grow up. It's just unsettling. She never played games herself, but she always respected that it mattered to me. If her view on all this changed, I've got no idea what caused it. And if this whole thing was her twisted way of making a point or teaching me a lesson, that's seriously messed up. She's my sister, not my mother. You know, maybe we should have just had an honest conversation to begin with. I'm not trying to throw blame around without proof, but I can't pretend the thought hasn't been stuck in my head. And if she really did let her own kid take the fall for something she did, that's a level of awful I can't even fully process. So if you are my sister, and you're reading this, which I suspect you are, judging by those conveniently supportive comments, here's what I have to say. I have no clue why you blocked me. I don't know what snapped inside you to make this all blow up the way it did. But if you had any part in destroying my computer setup, whether on purpose or because you just didn't care, then honestly, screw you. You know how much work I put into building that thing. You know what it meant to me. And you damn well know I would never do something like this to your stuff. Now, if it really was Max who did all of that on his own, fine. I just hope you're actually paying attention to him now. Not for me. For him. Go back and read through the comments on my original post. Really read what other parents and folks with little siblings said. They clearly understand boundaries better than you ever did. That's all I've got. Thanks to everyone who's stuck around through all the updates and helped me keep my head straight during this mess. Additional comments from me, original poster. Commenter. Wait, I thought your whole family was blowing up your phone saying you were being mean? Me, yeah, that was about a week ago, before I even made the original post. Want me to spell it out? My sister had already been bad-mouthing me to everyone, saying I screamed at her toddler over what she called a minor accident. And just as a side note, I've seen folks laughing about me saying, blowing up my phone. And I genuinely don't get why that's funny. Commenter. I think a lot of people are suspicious these days because ChatGPT is being used a ton on Reddit, especially in AITA-type subs. That phrase, blowing up my phone, is kind of a tell for AI, so people get skeptical. Me, oh okay. Thanks for the heads up. Beep boop. Commenter. Glad things are looking better. But what about the rest of the damage? The gaming chair, keyboard, etc.? Me, right, let me explain. The chair is technically still usable. The seat, legs, and backrest are all stained up with red permanent marker, but I've just learned to live with it. I work part-time as a janitor, and some of my coworkers and I have been trying out different cleaning methods. An ethanol-based cleaner, applied gently, has been slowly removing the stains from the plastic and metal parts. So hey, working in janitorial services has its perks sometimes. As for the keyboard, it's kind of a patch job. A bunch of keycaps went missing, and I couldn't find them all. So I pulled some spares from an old mechanical keyboard and popped them on. It looks mismatched as hell, but it still works fine. If I ever find a custom keycap set that fits, I might swap it out later. Now the cracked monitor? That one's a goner. I probably used the word cracked out of denial at first, but one of the displays is completely shot. Luckily, the other two survived, and the one that broke wasn't the most expensive one. Still sucks though. Commenter. Why not just have your brother-in-law cover those damages too? Or hire someone to professionally clean the chair? It's all part of the same mess. Me, we're holding off for now to see if my sister ever comes clean. If she admits to anything, then she's the one who'll be paying for it, or she'll reimburse him. Right now, getting the PC itself fixed was the top priority. It's up and running again. The keyboard is usable, even if it looks a little funky, and I've got 2 working monitors left. So for now, I'm okay holding off on the rest. About the so-called addiction. Alright, fine. I'll be honest. Back during the COVID lockdown, I dropped $300 on Genshin Impact when the character Ganyu came out. Yeah. That was probably the worst of it, and for the record, she was worth every damn penny. These days? I barely touched the game. Lately, I've just been messing around with Marvel Rivals. From Genshin's release up until now, I've spent under $600 total on it. Sure, that number might sound wild to someone who doesn't play games, but calling it a gambling addiction? That's just ridiculous. If my sister's really concerned about my spending, maybe she should take a good look at what I've spent on Pokemon card packs lately. In this economy? That's the real addiction. Update number 4, my sister is spiraling, and I don't know if or how to help. A few weeks back, I posted about how my sister's 3-year-old son nearly destroyed my entire computer setup. Quick recap, she stayed over at my place with her son for one night. He got into my office and wrecked my gear, juice poured inside the tower, crackers shoved into the vents, the whole nightmare. When I asked her to help cover the damage, she blamed me. That led to a whole family mess. She blocked me and acted like I was the one blowing things out of proportion. But her husband, my brother-in-law, reached out on his own. He came over, looked at the damage himself, and then took my PC in for repairs. He even paid for everything, because he was actually ashamed of how she handled it all. He also started questioning whether their son could have even caused that much destruction, especially since the kid couldn't open the office door on his own. He suspected maybe she left the door open, or worse, that she might have done something herself. Then, just a week after confronting her, she lost it. She kicked him out. Literally threw his stuff outside and told him to get out, like he was some stray animal. He told me she screamed at him, said he was betraying her and taking the side of that thing Reddit BH. That would be me. She also accused him of plotting against her with me, cheating on her, and trying to humiliate her in front of everyone. I mean, what? Since then, she's completely cut him off. No visits, no phone calls, nothing. She even threatened to call the cops if he tried to reach out. She's blocked me, our brother, and even some of the extended family. Right now, the only people my sister's still talking to are our parents, and to be honest, I think it's just because they want to keep seeing Max. Meanwhile, I've been hearing that she's been spreading all kinds of lies about me, telling people I'm unstable and made the entire thing up. She even went as far as telling one of our cousins that I somehow lured her kid into my office like it was some kind of trap. I don't know if this is tied to postpartum depression, a mental health crisis, or maybe it's just a side of her I never wanted to admit existed. But the truth is, I'm scared. I'm worried for Max. I'm worried for her husband. And yeah, I'm scared for myself too. Because if she's willing to completely wreck her marriage, cut off her siblings, and spread nasty rumors just to protect one big lie, then what else is she capable of? Our parents are trying to keep everything quiet, pretending it's just a family matter. But my brother-in-law isn't having it. He's serious about getting her some help. I want that too. I really do. I just have no idea where to even begin. Has anyone here ever dealt with something like this before? Is there any gentle way to encourage someone, an adult like my sister, to get the professional help they clearly need? She's her own person, sure, but I'm genuinely worried about her well-being. And Max's future, most of all. My brother-in-law has already started the divorce process. He told my parents straight up that he's going to fight for full custody, with or without their support. His family is furious with mine, and now I feel like I'm stuck smack in the middle of this whole thing. And yeah, maybe I did set all of this in motion. Is there any way to fix it? And if so, how? Who can I even talk to in the U.S. about something like this? What resources are out there? If anyone out there reading this knows anything, please, I could really use your advice. Update number 5. Hey everyone, it's been a little while, and I didn't feel like reposting this too. Am I overreacting? But for those of you who've been following or are just curious, here's where things stand now. The good news. My PC is completely back in working order. The repair shop was able to get everything running perfectly again. Even better, my nephew is now living in a stable, safe home with my brother-in-law. The not-so-good news. My brother-in-law has officially started separating from my sister. And as for me, well, I've basically been disowned by my mom. And now my dad too. The only person in my immediate family who still talks to me at all is my brother. To everyone who's supported me during this whole thing, thank you. Seriously, it means more than I can ever express. Original poster's comments. Commenter. Glad your PC got fixed, but I'm really sorry about your parents. I thought they were only talking to your sister so they could stay close to Max. Me, thank you, I'm just relieved my computer's working again. As for my parents, they've totally bought into the stories my sister's been spinning. She's convinced them that I was having an affair with her husband and that we're plotting to take Max away from her. I'm still trying to process everything, and if I'm being honest, it hasn't been easy. Work and school are keeping me distracted, and I'm doing what I can to explain things to people who'll actually listen. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, as you can probably imagine, but I'll post another update once things calm down a bit. For now, I'm just taking things one day at a time. Commenter. I'm glad to hear your nephew's in a safe place. Keep a relationship with him, it'll really matter to him later. I'm also a younger sister, and I know how easy it is to end up carrying too much of the family's baggage. Maybe think about seeing a therapist? You've got to protect your mental health too. Me, thank you so much for your kind words and thoughtful advice. Honestly, I hadn't even considered therapy until now. But you're right. I think it's time I start looking into it.